Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Till now 20 attendees are there. I think total 33 students are there, no? Total we are having 33 participants. Yes, so can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what about that identity? Yesterday I have given a homework. Identities, I told you to check this. Just here to apply the formula of binomial coefficients. Did it? Anybody? Nobody? Nobody did the homework? Am I audible? Please reply. Students,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, please reply whether you did your homework or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so whenever there is some homework, you have to share on that WhatsApp group, our WhatsApp group. Okay, everybody has to share that homework on WhatsApp group, so that I will come to know who has did and who has not did. Okay, so we will start now. Yesterday we have seen falling factorial power definition. Then we have seen this relation between binomial coefficient and falling factorial power. Then we have seen, and then we have proved some properties of that falling factorial power. So delta t raised t to the r falling is nothing but r t to the r minus 1 falling. This is most used identity or property we will use in our next sessions. Okay, so remember this one, delta t. First difference of t to the r falling with respect to t is r t to the r minus 1 falling. Okay, you can remember this easily because it is similar to differential property. Okay, now we will go to today's lecture. So we will start with example. Find a solution to the difference equation y at t plus 2 minus 2 times y at t plus 1 plus y at t is equal to t into t minus 1. We want to find solution for this difference equation. Okay, whatever properties we have studied, from that we can find the solution. So first let me tell, if I want to write this in terms of difference operator, how I can write? What is delta yt?
Yt plus 1 minus yt.
Minus yt. What is delta 2 of yt? Delta square yt? I at t We have already checked this.
T plus 2 minus y at t plus 1.
Plus y at t. So this term I can write as delta square yt. Is that okay?
Right. Okay.
LHS of this equation, you can say equation 1, I can write as delta square yt. And if I want to write this RHS in terms of factorial falling power, so how I can write? T to the R falling. What is T to the R falling? T minus 1, T minus 2, T minus R plus 1. Is it? We know the formula. Also, we know T to the R falling is nothing but T minus 1, T minus 2 and so on. So on T minus R plus 1. So if I use this formula, how I can write this RHS of 1? How I can write? This is T minus 1. So what should be my R? What is T to the 2 falling? R I have to substitute as 2. So T minus 2 plus 1. It is T minus 1. Are you there? Nobody is
Yes,
replying.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Why you people are not replying? Not getting what is going on? What I am saying, we want to find a solution for this difference equation. This is difference equation, right? This equation represents difference equation. Now I want to find its solution. So whatever properties I have proved, depending on that, I will find its solution. So first I will try to write this LHS in terms of difference operator. So difference operator, how I can write it is delta square yt. LHS of this equation 1 is nothing but delta square yt. And what is RHS? RHS I will write it in terms of T to the R falling. So T to the 2 falling I can write. So using 1 to from 1, 2 and 3, or you can say using 2 and 3, equation 1 can be rewritten as, how I can write? Delta square
delta
y
square y is equals to
2 falling. Is that right? T to the 2 falling. Now what I am having, we know that we have yesterday we have proved the property. What is delta T to the R falling? It is R T to the R minus 1 falling. Okay, we know that delta T to the R falling is nothing but R T to the R falling. So what will be my delta square T to the 4 falling? It is delta of delta T to the 4 falling. What is delta operated on T to the 4 falling? If I use this definition, yesterday we have proved this identity, right? Delta T to the R falling is nothing but R T to the R minus 1 falling. So what will be delta T to the 4 falling? Reply early.
3
4 T to the power 3.
4 3
T to the
falling. Yes. Now since delta is linear with respect to scalar multiplication, 4 I can take outside and I will get t to the 3 falling. Now if I apply again this delta t to the r falling to this one, what I will get here? 3 t to the
power 2
so
falling.
I will get here t 12 t to the 2 falling. So delta square t raised to 4 falling is nothing but 12 t to the 2 falling. So if I take this 12 this side, this implies delta square t to the 4 falling divided by 12 is nothing but t to the 2 falling. Am I right? So this implies delta square yt is equal to t to the 2 falling, where yt is nothing but t to the 4 falling divided by 12. So which is my required solution? Which is my required solution? That only I want to find now. I want to find yt which satisfies this equation. I want to find a function which satisfies this equation. So yt t to the 4 falling by 12 satisfies this one. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So we get here yt is equal to t to the 4 falling divided by 12 is the solution of this difference equation. So what we are doing here, there are other ways also to find the solution, but up to now only we have seen the properties of t to the 4 falling to t to the r falling, and using that property only we can find the solution of this difference equation. Is that okay?
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
suppose, okay,
Yes, ma'am.
example 2. It's not coming. Okay. Now I want to find solution of this difference equation. Can you try? Find solution of the difference equation. So what will be this? This can be rewritten as delta square yt is equal to, what will be this?
T to the power.
T to the 3 falling. Am I right?
Falling. Yes.
T to the 3 falling. Now what I have to do?
Falling.
Now I want here t to the 3 falling. So what should I take so that it's delta square? I will get t to the 3 falling. If I start with delta, where is that? T raised to 4, t to the 4 falling. Then I am getting in terms of t to the 2 falling, right? So what should I take here so that I will get here 3 falling? Forget about these quantities, coefficients. Delta square t to the 4 falling, if I take, I am getting some constant times t to the 2 falling. Now I want here, instead of t to the 2 falling, I want 3 falling. What should I take here?
T raised to 5 falling.
Yes. So if I start with, since delta square of t to the 5 falling. Now what is delta of delta t to the 5 falling? It is 5 t to the 4 falling.
5 times t to the 4 falling.
5 times delta t to the 4 falling. So it will be 20 delta t to the, not 20.
3 falling.
Yeah.
3.
20 times t to the 3 falling.
20 times t to the 3 falling. So delta square t to the 5 falling divided by 20, I can write as t to the 3 falling. So this implies yt is equal to t to the 5 falling divided by 20 is solution of the difference equation. Is that okay? How we are doing this? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now
Yes, ma'am.
suppose, take third example. Example 3. Find solution of the difference equation delta cube y of t is equal to t, t minus 1, t minus 2. Can you try this now? Delta cube yt is equal to t, t minus 1, t minus 2. Instead of this, I can write as y at t plus 3 minus 3 times y at t plus 2 plus 3 times y at t plus 1 minus
T.
y at t is equal to t times t minus 1, t minus 2 also I can write. Is that okay? This is my delta cube. So find solution of this difference equation, either this or this. Or I can write this as delta cube yt is nothing but t to the 3 falling, right? Now this yt I can take, so that if I take its third order difference, then I will get t to the 3 falling. Here you can see, if I take 5 falling and its second order difference, I will get in terms of 3 falling. If I take its again difference, what I will get here? T to the 2 falling, right? So if I increase the delta power, then this power t to the r falling, r will decrease. So here 3 and here 3. What should I take so that I will get t to the 2 falling?
If we take T to the 6 following.
T to the 6 falling. Let's try. So consider delta cube of t to the 6 falling. So it will be delta square of delta t to the 6 falling, means 6 times t raised to 5 falling. Then again apply delta 6 we can take out, or we can keep here also.
30.
Now delta of this, so 5 times t to the 4 falling, and 30 if I take outside, delta t to the 4 falling, and 30 into 4, 120
20.
t to the 3 falling. So I can write this as delta cube t to the 6 falling divided by 120 is nothing but t to the 3 falling. So this implies yt is equal to t to the 6 falling divided by 120 is the required solution. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes. Now we will go to the next. I will just give one homework to you. Find solution. Fourth one. Find solution of the difference equation. Say y at t plus 2 minus 2 times y at t plus 1 minus plus y at t is equal to say t to the 5 falling. Okay, you take that as homework. 5 instead of 5 falling, I will write here. T minus 1, t minus 2, t minus 2. Okay, so this is homework. Today's homework. Is that okay? Now you can do, this is delta square yt is equal to t to the 5 falling. Okay. So now we will go to the next topic. It is summation. Section 2.2. Summation. So first let me know what is integration. What is integration? It is antiderivative. If I apply
Yes,
that
ma'am.
integral of
Yes,
delta
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
dx, I will get the same function, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
like
ma'am.
in differential uh, equations, integration of or d by dt of integration of y of t dt is what? Integration of y
Y.
of t dt is what? Is just it the same function? Is it?
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
right? Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
integration of dy by dt. What is this? Integration and derivative is exchangeable, right? If I am
Yes,
having
ma'am.
this, if I take its integration, I am getting again the same function here. So integration is nothing but antiderivative. So derivative integration get cancelled and we get the original function. Similarly, now in difference operator, we are having summation notation. So I define definition. An indefinite sum or it is also called as anti-difference of y of t denoted by summation yt is any function so that I will get delta operated on summation yt is equal to yt for all t. It should be for all t in the domain of y. Domain of y. What is this summation? So this summation is called as indefinite sum. This summation operator, this notation summation is nothing but antidifference of this delta. So if I operate summation on delta or delta on summation, I should get original function. It is like integration, okay, but it is the discrete form of integration. This sum is nothing but discrete form of integration. Like our delta is discrete form of differential operator d by dt. Its discrete form is nothing but delta operator. So similarly, summation is discrete form of this integration operator. Is that okay? Any function,
Yes, ma'am.
the summation yt is any function which when I apply delta on it, I should get the original function. Okay. Now here what we say this, it is indefinite integral. Indefinite integral means, for example, what is the indefinite integral of cos t? Indefinite
Sin t.
integral of cos t hello थोडं लवकर जॉईन व्हायचं
Sin t.
सुरू झाल्यावर मला एंट्री द्यायला प्रॉब्लेम येतो ओके केलं What is indefinite integral of cos t?
Sin t.
Sin
Sin t.
Only sin t?
Sin t into dt
Plus some constant. Na?
plus constant.
Yes. Arbitrary.
Constant.
Arbitrary constant. So arbitrary constant means integration of cos t can be sin t plus 1 also, or sin t plus 2 also I can write, or sin t plus 3 also I can write. I will get cos t dt. So c is any arbitrary constant. Okay, so how I am getting, if I operate differential operator on RHS, I am getting cos t, right? D by dt of sin t plus 1. What is d by dt of sin t plus 1? It is cos t. D by dt of constant is 0, right?
Yes.
Similarly, whatever, if you take d by dt of sin t plus 1, it is nothing but d by dt of
Cos
sin t plus d by dt of 1. But d by dt is nothing but cos t, and this is nothing but 0. So integration of cos t is nothing but sin t plus 1 I can write. Or similarly, d by dt of sin t plus any constant if you take, I am getting again cos t, because d by dt of constant is 0. So integral is not unique. Integral function is not unique, so we are saying it is indefinite integral. Why we are saying it is indefinite integral? Because integral is not unique. Okay, because integration of cos t I can write as sin t plus 1 also, sin t plus 2 also, sin t plus 3 also, or any constant. Okay, so this is called as indefinite integral of some function. Now so here also we are saying this is as indefinite sum, because if I take summation of yt, also it is not unique. We will show that one. The indefinite sum is also not unique. Here indefinite integral is not unique. We know that. This we know. Okay, indefinite integral is not unique. Similarly, indefinite sum is also not unique. For example, compute, we will take example, compute the indefinite sum summation 6 raised to t. I want to find indefinite sum 6 raised to t. So what is indefinite sum? This summation yt is called as indefinite sum. If I operate delta on that function, I should get the original function yt. So what is the function if I apply on summation yt? I will get yt. Means here yt is nothing but my 6 raised to t. That is delta summation 6 raised to t. I should get 6 raised to t. What should be that function so that I will get 6 raised to t only? So what is delta? We know that, again we know that, what is delta 6 raised to t?
6 raised to
6
t
raised
plus
to
1
t
minus 6
minus 6
raised to t.
T. So 6 raised to t, if I take common, 6 minus 1. So 5 times 6 raised to t, right? So delta of 6 raised to t by 5 is nothing but my 6 raised to t. Is it right? So what is the indefinite
Yes,
sum of 6 raised to t then? So what is, so this implies this function is nothing but indefinite sum of 6 raised to t. So or I shall write this implies indefinite sum of 6 raised to t is 6 raised to t by 5. Am I right? Because delta summation yt is nothing but yt. This is summation yt. I am getting as 6 raised to t here. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are the others now? Like suppose if I take delta 6 raised to t by 5 plus some function c of t. So we know that delta is linear.
Yes, ma'am.
Delta of 6 raised to t by 5 plus delta of c of t.
CT.
Where, assume c of t satisfies
Constant.
delta c of t is equal to 0. It is like just constant. Like in integration we take as constant, but here there are some functions whose difference will be constant. Difference, if I apply that difference operator on that function, I will get 0. Okay,
0.
so consider c of t as a function which satisfies delta c of t is equal to 0 in the same domain where domain of c of t is same as domain of yt. Domain of yt. It depends on domain of yt. What will be my c of t? We will see that also here. First, let me now. What is delta 6 raised to t by 5? It is
6 raised to t.
And we are considering this c of t. Delta c of t is equal to
0.
0. So again, I can say that this function
Equal to 6.
This function is also indefinite sum of 6 raised to t. So not only 6 raised to t by 5, but 6 raised to t by 5 plus some function c of t, where delta c of t is equal to 0 is an indefinite sum of 6 raised to t.
T.
This implies 6 raised to t by 5 plus c of t, where delta c of t is equal to 0 is an indefinite sum of 6 raised to t. So similarly, can you say what is the indefinite sum of 5 raised to t?
Five raised to t upon 4.
5 raised to
Indefinite sum of 5 indefinite sum of 5 raised to t is 5 raised to t by 4. But I can have c of t where delta c of t is equal to 0. Is that correct? Now, which are the functions where c of t is equal to 0? Why we are not taking here constant? Like in integration, we take here c as constant. But here we are not taking as only constant. We are taking it as it depends on what is the domain of the function. Domain of the function of yt. Suppose, so we will now we see which type of function is c of t. Which type of function is c of t? So suppose my domain of yt is integers. Then what is delta c of t? If domain is integers, what will be this? C of t 1 minus c of t, right? Are you getting? If it is domain is integers, are you getting this?
Yes,
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
I am
Yes,
trying
ma'am.
to find what is that c of t, whether it is constant or whether it is any another thing. Why we are taking here t? So suppose my domain of y can be real numbers also, my domain can be natural numbers also, my domain of y can be integers also, right? So suppose my domain of yt is integer number. So delta c of t 0, delta c of t, the function c of t such that delta c of t 0 implies c of t plus 1 is equal to c of t for all t. Is it?
Yes,
For all
ma'am.
t. So the function which satisfies delta c of t 0 is nothing but c of t plus 1 is equal to c of t for all t. Now t is my integer. Integer means c of 1 is 0, c of 2 integers means for all t means t is equal to 1, 2, 3. You can take minus 1, minus 2. If I substitute t is equal to minus 1, what I will get? C is equal to 1, C at 2, C at 3. Similarly, for every t, which is an integer. So what is that function? If I substitute 1, 2, 3, any integer in that, I will get equal value. What should be that function of t? What type of function it should be so that I will get c of t plus 1 is equal to c of t for all t.
Constant function.
It should be constant function, right? It should be, this implies c of t must be constant function. Constant function means it is just constant, right? So if it is integers, then it will, my c of t will reduce to just arbitrary constant, like our integration. Is that okay? If it is integers or natural numbers, okay? Now if it is not integers, means it is like complex numbers or real numbers, whatever may be the domain. Now if domain of yt is not integers, if it is not integers, then not, or you can say just directly real numbers will be, is say real numbers. If it is real numbers, then what is that function? I will get delta c of t is equal to 0, c of t plus 1 minus c of t is equal to 0 for all t belongs to R, right? For all t belongs to R. So what is that function?
Again, constant function.
All t belongs to R. Uh, is that a constant function? If t belongs to R, only constant function will satisfy that property, or anything else you can remember. C of t plus 1 is equal to c of t. It is some periodic function.
Yes, ma'am.
It is a periodic function
Yes,
with
ma'am.
period 1.
Yes,
It is
ma'am.
not only constant function, but it is
Periodic function.
or this implies c of t is a periodic function with period
1.
yes. So which are such functions? If we can choose, we could choose c of t is equal to 2 times sine 2 pi t, or another or any other else also. For example, why I am saying this, because you can, what is c at t plus 1? 2 times sine 2 pi at t plus 1. What will be this? Two times sine
Sine 2 pi
pi
t
t or 2 pi
into
plus 2 pi t. So sine 2 pi plus some theta.
sine theta.
0 pi by 2 pi 3 pi by 2 sine, and this is again also I can write as 2 pi also, no? So sine 2 pi plus theta. In first quadrant it will go, right? So it is what? 2 sine
2 sine 2 pi t.
2 as it is and sine theta. So 2 sine 2 pi t. So this implies it is c of t. So this is a periodic function with period 1. We are getting the same value, right? If I take here to c at t plus 2, c at t plus 2 will be 2 sine 2 pi t plus 2. So 2 means what will be here?
4 pi.
2 pi. 4 pi.
2 pi t plus
4 pi plus again I will get in first quadrant. So again I will get 2 sine 2 pi t.
2 pi t.
So whatever may be your t plus 1, t plus 2 or t plus 3, whatever it may be. So it is just periodic function of period 1. Means if I change here 1, t plus whatever may be your real number here, t is any real number. Here t is any real number. It can be integer also, it can be natural number also, or it can be rational,
Real.
irrational number also. But still c at t plus 1 will be c at t for all is equal to c at t for all t belongs to R. So it is not necessary always my c of t, if delta c of t is equal to 0, c of t must be constant. Okay, it is not always true because there may be some periodic function for which delta c of t is equal to 0. Is it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that is the difference between differential equations and now difference equations. So summation, integration. In integration only one constant only will be there, for which indefinite integral we can add that plus c as constant. But in case of difference equation, it depends on domain of the function. If domain of the function is integers, then it is just constant like our differential equations. But if it is not constant, so if it is not integers, it may be real numbers, then it may be some periodic function. It may be some periodic function with period 1. Is that okay? So we are writing there, instead of c, we are writing function of t. So always we will add whatever may be indefinite sum, we will add this c of t where delta c of t is equal to 0. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now we will define, or corollary we can say, from this I can write corollary. Let yt be defined on a set of the type A, A plus 1, A plus 2, and so on, where A is any real number. Where A is any real number. And let ZT be an indefinite sum of YT. Then every indefinite sum of YT, is given by, it is summation YT is nothing but ZT plus what will be here? Constant C, because it is, you can see it is integers. A plus 1, A plus 2, and so on. Plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, and so on. So I will get here C, where C is arbitrary constant. Arbitrary constant. So my domain of definition is integers. Then I am having indefinite sum as summation YT is equal to ZT plus constant C. Okay, so that C of T will reduce to C if my domain of definition is integers. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now we will go to the theorem. That is already.
Ma'am, domain real number येईल ना?
No. Plus 1, plus 2, plus 3 I am adding, na?
Where A is any real number.
No. YT be defined on a set of type A plus 1, A plus 2, and so on.
पण A हा आपण रिअल नंबर घेतोय ना कुठला पण, मग हा सेट पण रिअलच होईल ना, सेट ऑफ रिअल नंबर्स.
It is discrete, na, but real numbers कसा असतो? Real number will be like continuous, means whatever values in between, they are all will be real numbers. But discrete म्हणजे काय? With gaps. With certain gaps.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
certain gaps म्हणजे काय? समजा मी इथे 2.2 घेतलं, तर next point माझं काय राहील?
3.4 something.
एक ऍड करायचं आहे ना, एक ऍड करायचं मला. So if my A is my 2.2,
2.3.
A is my 2.2, so A plus 1 will be 3.2. Next will be
3.2.
A plus 2 म्हणजे 4.2, and so on. So I am getting discrete values, not all set of real numbers. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
म्हणजे डिस्क्रीट म्हणजे कळत आहे ना तुम्हाला, इट इज नॉट कंटिन्युअस. लाईक 1, 2, 3 आपण हे फक्त असं म्हणतो, बट इट कॅन बी लाईक 1.2, 2.2, 3.2, and so on also. My set can be 1.1, 2.1, 3.1, and so on. Is that okay? Discrete values, not continuous values. My domain of function takes discrete values instead of continuous values. Differential equations मध्ये ते T belongs to R असतो, because it takes every value. Is that
Okay, ma'am.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will go to the theorem. Theorem 2.5. Let A be constant. Then for delta C of t is equal to 0, summation a raised to t is nothing but a raised to t upon a minus 1 plus C of t, where a is not equal to 1. B, summation sin a t is nothing but minus cos a t minus half upon 2 sin a by 2 plus C of t. C, summation cos a t is nothing but sin a t minus half divided by 2 sin a by 2 plus C of t. Here a is not equal to 2 and pi. A is not equal to 2 and pi. Otherwise it will be 0. Denominator will be 0. Now D, summation log t is nothing but log of gamma t plus C of t. T should be greater than 0. E, summation t to the a falling is nothing but t to the a plus 1 falling divided by a plus 1 plus C of t. F, summation TCA is nothing but T a plus 1, TCA plus 1 plus C of t, and last one is G, summation a plus t is nothing but a plus t minus 1 plus C of t. Okay, so all this we have to prove, or already we have proved, just we have to check it. So what is given? Let a be constant. Let a be constant, any constant, arbitrary constant, and delta C of t. What is my C of t? C of t is nothing but a function which satisfies delta C of t is equal to 0. Then I want to show that indefinite sum of a raised to t is nothing but a raised to t upon a minus 1 plus C of t. One by one we will go. Now I want to show summation a raised to t is a raised to t upon a minus 1 plus C of t. How I will show this? Apply delta on both sides. If I operate delta on RHS and if I get a raised to t, then I can say it is indefinite sum. Summation a raised to t is nothing but a raised to t upon a minus 1 plus C of t. Is that okay?
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you getting?
Yes.
So already we have proved, but just let me show you one. So if I operate delta on a raised to t upon a minus 1 plus C of t, what I will get? Delta a raised to t upon a minus 1 plus delta C of t. But delta C of t, what is that? It is already given to be 0. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Delta C of t is given to be 0. So only we should bother about this one. So plus 0 I can write here. Plus plus. Can you see this? Whatever I am writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now what is delta a raised to t upon a minus 1? A minus 1 is constant. So a raised to t plus 1 upon a minus 1 minus a raised to t upon a minus 1.
A minus
A
1.
minus
A
1.
raised to t, if I take a minus 1 is denominator. A raised to t, if I take common, a minus 1. So a minus 1 get cancelled, and I am getting a raised to t. So delta of this quantity is nothing but a raised to t. So this implies summation a raised to t is nothing but a raised to t upon a minus 1 plus c of t. Is that okay? A should be not, a is not equal to 1 because otherwise it will be undefined. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to do this, just take, you take delta on this side or delta on both sides and show that LHS is equal to RHS. Okay. So if I take delta, if I operate delta on both sides, delta operated on summation a raised to t is nothing but just a raised to t. And delta operated on this side is again, we are getting a raised to t. So LHS is equal to RHS. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now similarly, if I operate delta on this side, now I want to show summation sin AT is nothing but this one. Now if I operate delta on this side, then I will get sin AT. We have already calculated this, I think. Or you can try once again. Okay. Delta cos AT. Again delta, if I operate, I will get the delta. If I operate on this, I will get cos AT. Okay. Similarly, what is delta operated on log gamma t? It is log t. Is it? Are you getting this theorem? I think. Let me check. Yeah. You can see
Theorem
here.
2.2.
Yeah. 2.2. 2.2.
Oh.
In theorem 2.2, delta a raised to t is a minus 1 a raised to t. So you take, if delta of a raised to t upon a minus 1, you are getting a raised to t, right? Sin AT. You can see here. So sin a by 2 should be below. Cos of a t plus 1 by 2. You can just check this. Then log of AT. Then log delta operated on log of gamma t, we have shown that log of t. So if I operate summation on both sides, summation and delta will cancel. Log of gamma t will be summation log t. And that only we want to. So summation log t I want to show is log gamma t. And the same thing. Okay, so this already we have proved. Delta operated on this. So just here to reverse it. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So summation log t is nothing but log of gamma t, because if I operate delta on log gamma t, I am getting log t. We have already shown this. Similarly here, indefinite sum of t to the r falling is t to the r plus 1 falling divided by r plus 1. Why? Because if I take delta over here, t to the a plus 1 falling will be a plus 1 t to the a falling. And a plus 1 will get cancelled, and I will get t to the a falling. Okay, so I am not going into again all the calculations. Are you getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
This already we have did in 2.2, theorem 2.2. So everything follows from 2.2. But if it has been asked in exam, then you have to write the full steps. Okay. You need to write to full steps. Where is? Similarly, this property also we have proved. Delta of a plus t minus 1 is a plus t. Okay. So delta, if I take some delta on both sides, I will get delta and summation get cancelled, a plus t. Here also I will get a plus t because delta c of t is already 0. Okay, so can you prove on your own now this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
So this also you can take as homework. Only just you have to rewrite the theorem 2.2 in proper way. So, okay, so remaining things we will see tomorrow. Any doubt till now? So today what we have seen? We have seen how to solve difference equation which contains t to the r falling power. Okay, and what is indefinite sum? Indefinite sum, or you can say anti-difference. It is just similar concept to anti-derivative or integration. Integration or anti-derivative. Okay, so now everybody can log off first.
मैडम एक बार अटेंडेंस चेक करो ना.
Yeah, attend. आज सब लोग नाम से ओनली एक या दो लोग ही, एक ही लोग. भोजने पूनम, बिडवे ऋतुजा, बिस्मानम, देवराव पतंगे, हसन पल्ले मेघा, कदम पल्लवी, काजळकर अंजली, केंद्रे सुजाता, खिल्लारे मनीषा, कोमल ज्ञानेश्वर, मोहम्मद, नवगरे राणी, पल्लवी पाटील, पठाण शाइस्ता, पूजा रोकडे, प्रियंका वैद्य, साठे गजानन, सावंत ऐश्वर्या. These are all students. Okay, so now you can log off first, then I will end the meeting.
Okay, ma'am.